You know the feeling, right? You're at a restaurant, you're starving, you're staring at the menu. And there it is. Right next to that amazing burger you're about to order, a number, the calorie count.
So yeah, you see the calories, but have you ever really stopped to wonder, like, why are they even there? And more importantly, does seeing that number actually make any difference in what you end up ordering?
You think it's a simple question, but the answer is, well, it's surprisingly complicated. So let's dive in. We're going to break down the why, the how, and the big one. Did this whole thing even work?
All right, so to really get why this law even exists, we have to rewind a bit and look at the huge public health issue that got this whole ball rolling in the first place. 41.9%. That's a huge number. According to the CDC, that's how many American adults were dealing with obesity back in 2020. Just think about that for a second. That's more than 2 out of every 5 adults. And here's the kicker. This problem has been getting worse and fast. I mean, look at this chart. It shows just how steeply that number has been climbing. We're talking about a jump from around 30% to almost 42% in just 2 decades. That is a massive shift. And, experts like Margot Wooten point out that this isn't just a number on a scale. It's a huge factor driving some of the biggest, most serious health problems out there. We're talking heart disease, cancer, diabetes, things that impact millions and millions of people. Okay, so with this massive health problem growing, policymakers had to do something, right? And they decided to zero in on one of the main places we all get our calories, restaurants. But getting these numbers onto menus was a real battle. It wasn't some brand new idea. Way back in 1990, a law put nutrition labels on pretty much all our groceries. But get this, it specifically let restaurants off the hook. It literally took another 2 decades just to get a national rule for menus passed, and then another 8 years of delays before it finally became official in 2018. A long road, for sure. Now, it's important to know this law doesn't hit every single restaurant. We're not talking about your favorite local mom and pop spot. Nope. It's aimed squarely at the big guys, the huge national chains. Your fast food joints, the big coffee shop brands, any place with 20 or more locations. So what does this law actually make them do? Well, it's pretty straightforward. It boils down to 3 main things. 1, post the calorie counts right there on the menu. 2, give people some context, like that little line about a 2,000-calorie diet. And 3, have all the other nutrition info available if someone asks for it. Which brings us to it, the million-dollar question. Or really, the billion-dollar question. After all that effort, all that debate, does any of this information actually change how we behave? The whole idea, the big hope, was that it would empower us, right? Give us the info to make better choices. But the reality? It's been less than impressive. Study after study found it didn't really make much of a difference. There was this huge study in New York City. They were one of the first to do this. And even after 5 years, people were buying basically the same amount of calories. And researchers have not been shy about their findings. I mean, listen to this quote from one study author, Julie Downs. She basically said putting calorie labels on menus has little or no effect on what people order. Pretty blunt. Okay, but what about the studies that did see a change? Well, even then, the drop was kind of tiny. We're talking somewhere between 25 and 100 calories. Just to put that into perspective for you, a 25-calorie cut per meal would mean you'd lose less than a single pound over an entire year. So, yeah, not exactly a game changer. So that's it, right? Case closed. The law was a big flop? Well, not so fast, because this is where the story gets really interesting. It turns out there's a lot more going on beneath the surface. Yeah, see, a group of researchers found this crazy twist that kind of flips the whole conversation on its head. They started asking a different question. What if it's not just that the number is there, but where it is? And what they found is just, wow, check this out. When the calorie count was on the left of the item, people ordered meals with almost 30% fewer calories. But when it was on the right, which is, where it usually is, the reduction was barely 5%. So what's going on? Well, think about how you read, left to right. When the number is on the left, it's the very first thing your brain sees. It kind of sets the stage for your decision before you even get to the name of the food. That's an incredible difference from just one tiny little design change. And that's not the only hidden effect. So maybe the law isn't totally changing our minds, but it looks like it's changing the restaurants.
Behind the scenes, studies are showing that chains are actually creating new, lower-calorie menu items. And it's not just calories. Sodium levels have been dropping in their food over time, too.
Okay, so let's bring this all together. What does this mean for you the next time you're looking at a menu and trying to decide what to order? So here's the takeaway. That little number on the menu, it's not some magic bullet that's going to fix the obesity problem all by itself. Its direct impact on us is, well, the jury's still out. But we know that tiny things, like its placement, can actually matter a lot. And maybe the biggest surprise of all is that it seems to be changing the food industry from the inside out. So there you have it. We've looked at the history, the data, the debate, and some really surprising twists. Which really just leaves one last question, and this one's for you. Now that you know the whole story behind that number, will it change what you order next time? Something to think about.